Editor's note: in our latest Facebook Live interview, please like our Facebook page to see more of these events. Jacob Hilbrun, editor of the National Interest, sat down with Robert W. Mary, editor of the American Conservative, to discuss the idea of a bloc-based world order, healthcare, the fall of the Roman Republic, and more. Robert Mary recently wrote an article on the best and worst presidents in American history. An excerpt of the article can be found below. Whenever academics and scholars tickle their fancy by putting forth yet another poll of historians on presidential rankings, there is little doubt about which president will top the list. Abraham Lincoln. In the numerous such polls executed since Arthur M Schlesinger Sr pioneered the genre in 1948 for Life magazine, Lincoln has come out as number one in nearly all of them. Of the 7 surveys I pulled together for my 2012 book on the subject, Where They Stand, the Illinois rail splitter was judged the nation's greatest president in 6 of them. In the 7th, the 2005 Wall Street Journal poll, George Washington came out on top, with Lincoln in second place. Franklin Roosevelt almost always occupies the number 3 slot. As the nation prepares to observe Memorial Day, it might be a fitting time to ponder just what constituted Lincoln's greatness. One could begin with his personal qualities and note the encomium of the political historian Thomas A. Daly of Stanford. Lincoln, he wrote in 1966, was undeniably a great man in spirit, in humility, in humanity, in magnanimity, in patience, in Christ-like charity, in capacity for growth, in political instincts, in holding together the discordant political following, in interpreting and leading public opinion, and in seizing with bulldog grip the essential idea of preserving the Union. What Daly seems to be saying is that Lincoln was a political genius who also happened to be sanely. That is an easy case to make, but presidential greatness ultimately is a matter of presidential performance. Greatness is as greatness is, and it might be worth speculating on what likely would have happened to Lincoln's standing in history if he had lost his 1864 re-election bid. He almost did. In fact, that's precisely what he expected. Just 10 weeks before the election, he wrote a note to himself, sealed it in an envelope, and stashed it away for reference only after the ballot results were known. He wrote, "This morning, as for some days past, it seems exceedingly probable that this administration will not be re-elected. Then it will be my duty to cooperate with the President-elect so as to save the Union between the election and the inauguration, as he will have secured his selection on such ground that he cannot possibly save it afterwards." These are words of mere desperation. The central reason for Lincoln's beleaguered state was the war. For long years of the worst carnage the country had ever seen, more likely would ever see again, with little apparent prospect for victory. Image: U.S. President Donald Trump talks to the media during his meeting with immigration crime victims at the White House in Washington, U.S., June 28, 2017. Reuters/Yuri Kripias.